About 2 months ago, Star Stable posted on their Instagram what their employees were working on for Passion Week. During this time, workers are encouraged to work on whatever projects they are passionate about for the Star Stable online game. They showed some teasers on their Instagram story, and it thoroughly surprised me and many others. Although it is important to note, just because this teaser is shown doesn't mean it's not subject to change, or even being scrapped outright, but I'll explain later in my reasoning for why I don't think that this will be scrapped. In the teasers, we see a girl swimming underwater, and a developer mentions mermaid game. We know that this is not an unrelated project to Star Stable Online though. Maybe this comment does not need to be read more into besides the game atmosphere gives a mermaid vibes. I mean, I don't even see a mermaid tail on this character. We also see another person making a swimming deep sea looking fish model. This being likely in the deep sea is important to remember. In another video, we see a developer working on some kind of underwater ruins. To me, it looks like a tomb. Important to note is the head statue of a girl and the horse statues. Inside the ruins, we can see a statue. I cannot 100% confirm what this statue is of, so let me know what you see in the comments. To me, this looks like Fripp, which would also fit into my theory. There is definitely a big looking hole where a grave should be in the center of this ruin. Also, the pictures above are just inspiration photos and not related to the game. They are working on some underwater part of the map in a horse game. It seems completely random until you start looking into the lore of SSO and the lore of the series predating it. The villain of SSO is an extraterrestrial being referred to as Garnock. Garnock comes from a completely different solar system, and there he committed some heinous crimes. What exactly? We don't know. But what we do know is that Fripp, a benevolent extraterrestrial being, wanted to punish Garnock by shipping him off to the end of the universe. Unfortunately, Garnock's generals broke loose on the way and sent the spaceship barreling into the ocean of Jorvik. Here is where the stories start to differ though. In Starshine Legacy, Garnock is trapped in that ship, kept locked up by Fripp and 3 others in the ocean. Evil generals work to release Garnock. But in SSO, so the more relevant storyline, Garnock is trapped in Pandoria, a mystical dimension. We really don't know how they got there though, and the spaceship crash thing into the ocean just isn't mentioned, it seems. Still, we do know Garnock is often depicted as a kraken, or a large sea creature with long tentacles. We can see these tentacles try to grab Alex at Devil's Gap in the Starshine Legacy game. In SSO, we have seen their tentacles both in Pandoria and in Yidris's circus tent. So it's safe to assume that Garnock is still a sea creature with tentacles. The thing is, Garnock is still trapped in Pandoria, so I don't think that we will be looking for him under the water. But there are certainly clues we can find there, since we know that very well could be where he crash landed. My theory is that the new area will be the Kraken Depths. An old newspaper clip in Starshine Legacy shows Mr. Sands, going by the name Mr. Sanders, catching a hideous sea creature from the deep sea in an area of the ocean known as the Kraken Depths. Some people believe this to be Garnock, but it's just not massive enough to be Garnock, and this creature appears to be dead. We know that Garnock is alive and well. A blog post from Star Stable Studies suggests that this creature could be one of the generals of Garnock, as depicted in the runes and seas in Starshine Legacy. What I think is that Mr. Sands fished up one of these generals. Maybe he was already working for Garnock and was commanded to find the generals in order to attack the Soul Riders like the runes depicted. I find this to hold up considering that Mr. Sands conveniently dropped the creature back into the ocean, according to the newspaper. The Kraken Depths are so deep that no one could go back and retrieve it. Which, if so, how did Mr. Sands even find this creature in the first place? But whatever. I think that he didn't throw it back at all. He probably took it to revive it and lied to the press about it. Or he revived it on the ship and threw it back into the water, letting it be free to carry out Garnock's plan. If Mr. Sands fished up a general of Garnock, maybe this general was kept in some type of grave, like the one depicted in the teaser. In transport on the ship, Fripp would have surely made sure that Garnock and his generals were locked up and constrained. Maybe Fripp constructed this grave for them to be transported in, and put a statue of himself on it for vanity's sake or some magic reason. The girl's head and horse could be a symbol for Aideen, or even our player character, since the face model is a possible player character. Maybe our face was put there as a prophecy. It would certainly be freaky to see your own face on some deep sea ruins. And I'm leaning towards the latter theory being true here. So in whole, my theory now boils down to we will, for whatever reason, go into the Kraken Depths, find the crash site of the spaceship that was meant to carry Garnock and his generals to do. I don't know how we will get there though. I'm sure that there's some breathing underwater spell someone will cast on us or something. Crazier things have happened in SSO anyway. In the newspaper clips, it is mentioned that the Kraken Depths is a very deep part of the sea, which is someplace you would expect to see a deep sea fish like this. In the SSO teaser, it is also mentioned that other developers are working on the underwater flora and fauna, so we know at least 3 people are working on this. Honestly, in my opinion, it seems to be quite the big project. That's why I just don't see this project being scrapped. They already put so much effort into it. Sunken cost fallacy or whatever. I'm just trying to say that the team seems quite passionate about this project, and that's the key to making anything good. So yes, I'm excited for this. It will probably be ages until this gets released though. It seems this would be a part of a main quest update, since if my theory is correct, it has to do with Garnock and Mr. Sands. So a huge project for sure. Something else to note is that the swimming girl part is apparently made in Unreal Engine, which is not the SSO engine. So it would probably be time consuming to convert that to the SSO engine. Or maybe they have some other workaround, I don't know. There is also the possibility that this is some small spin-off game project, which would be really fun, and my theory could still hold in that case. Anyway guys, I know this theory is super late. I mean, this whole thing came out 2 months ago. But I have been busy studying real life big girl shiz. So I really did not have any time for anything like this. Also, this is my first time doing any kind of theory video, or even video essay video. So I hope that this was at least bearable. I'm also not super educated on all the SSO lore and the previous game's lore. I'm a fairly new player and I skipped through all the dialogue when I played, so I'm just doing the best I can, piecing together what I know from other theory or lore videos, blog posts, and wiki posts mostly. All that just to say, I could have very well gotten things wrong. Feel free to correct me in the comments or add your own ideas, but please be respectful about it. Thank you guys so much for watching until the end. Bye then.